With hopes maybe I'll get a chance to see you when I close my eyes. I'm going out of my head. Lost in the fairy tale. Will you hold my hands and be my guide? Close you with stars, the sky. And I hope it rains. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Quick live stream. Quick live. It is really cool here. Like it's gotta be like it is. It's definitely fall in the air. Hey Colin, how you doing? It's gotta be probably 69, 70 degrees out here, which is whew, it's a little cool for Florida. Hello, hey, you guys, you come in, tap the screen for me. I just want to tell, this is a quick live stream. I'm here walking on my lunch break. I have a Fusion energy drink in here mixed with a lot of water, but no ice because the ice machine here is broke. But it's okay though. It's nice and it's cool still because it keeps it cool. This Adidas thing that my sister Keisha got me. But so let me just say this. I know some of you guys probably gonna catch a replay. I'm very happy. That's good. I'm happy that you're happy. That's awesome. And I hope I want you to stay happy. I just told a coworker of mine how I appreciate her so much for her positivity. This woman, since I've been here, you know, I transferred from one hospital to another one. This woman has never ever crossed a boundary. She's never made me feel less than anything other than just great. She's always respectful to her other coworkers, and I appreciate that. I appreciate positivity. I appreciate kindness, and but right before I was telling her that, this guy who I've had to snap on this dude a couple times, and he just doesn't understand that I'm not joking with him. So I've had to do that. So what I did was he I was putting some supplies away, helping out with the room, and this person walks up and says, "Oh wow, you're putting things away. You're finally doing something." Here's the deal: you want to joke, you want to be my friend so bad. I do not want to be your friend. I can barely say that we're coworkers because, like I said, if I'm gonna say if I call a coworker, that means that this person works. So how can I call you a damn coworker? I guess I can say an individual. You're a human being. That's what that's what I will address you as. You're a human being. You know right from wrong. We have nothing in common. We have nothing to socialize about. And I had to tell him flat out when he walked past and he said that because again, you guys, I'm not initiating anything. My right-handed guy. What I do is I show up to work, and I am bombarded with nonsense. I'm not making this up. I promise you. There are people that can vouch for me that I'm not making these things up. But anyway, so the person says that, I sighed, and I was like, you know, just let it go, Terrence. You know, whatever, ignore or move on. Because I've been walking away and ignoring people. But I said, you know what? I'm going to continue to do that. But I said, no, this time, let me say exactly what's on my mind. So as I did, I said, hey, I said, excuse me, sir. I said, listen, in passing or wherever we are, if it's not around, if it's not like, if it's not pertaining to a patient, if it's not pertaining to a patient, I said, please, don't socialize with me. Don't say anything to me if it's not concerning or pertaining to a patient. His eyes got really big, and I feel like he wanted to just say, I'm joking. Well, I don't have time for your fucking joking. It's time out for all bullshit. I don't have time for anybody's bullshit. I have my own bullshit. Stop playing with me. Stop doing that because that's disrespectful. And it's actually, in a sense, you know, it's harassment, it's bullying, it's all of those things. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to tolerate that. So that's what I told him. And sure enough, you know, he looked kind of, you know, got kind of perplexed and looked kind of wow and just walked on, went on about his business. I'm sorry. Let me tell you, I can be dead in the next 5 minutes. You ain't, look, I don't mean nothing to you and you don't mean nothing to me. Now, with that being said, I'm not putting nobody down. I'm not wishing no harm, hurt, danger on anybody. My mom, my gosh, you guys, my mom, may she continue to rest in peace. That woman raised me like that. You don't ever put someone down. You don't ever sit up here and wish bad stuff on some people. You don't do that. Now I may curse your ass out, but I don't wish no death on nobody. I ain't wishing no pain, no hurt, because those things come back tenfold onto that person who wants to send that to people, who wants to put it out there. It comes back. So it's called, believe it or not, it's just simply called karma, and karma don't play. So I'm not going to put out bad jujus because bad stuff can happen to me. I put out good stuff. I come here and I try my best to be the most respectful, the most kindest, the most realist. Now with that real, it can look as rude because I say what's on my mind. See, that's the difference. I've done a video about that where when you're a real person and when you say what's on your mind, you're looked up, you're a troublemaker now. Now you're a troublemaker. Now you're mean because it's, oh, you calling me out. I just say it's being real because I ain't cursing nobody out. I'm not yelling at nobody. I'm not. I'm just saying what's on my mind. But with that person in particular, I told them just like that, and I don't care. I'm telling you, I got to the point where I don't care. I do not care about your feelings. Now that I'm just gonna be honest, I do not care about your feelings, and in a sense, even your well-being, because you don't care about mine and my well-being. Because if you did, you wouldn't bother me. Why do people get to feel the need to want to bother people who ain't messing with them? So with that being said, since you feel the need to do that, I'm gonna feel the need to tell you to leave me alone. Do not talk to me, and I'm being so serious. Do not socialize with me when it's not pertaining to a patient. I am not your friend. I don't consider myself your enemy, your friend. I'm not your brother. I'm not your coworker. I ain't nobody to you. I'm no one to you. Do not talk to me if it does not concern a patient. And I'm telling you, with that, we're gonna be we just gonna be one big happy, situation. I don't have time for that. I don't. And it probably can look at maybe like, oh man, you're being mean or whatever. Okay, be that as it may. I'll take it. I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace at all costs. I don't know what other way can I express this? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You happy all the time? I love that. Gab, you stick your tongue out of me. Hypocrite oath. Don't do harm to others. I don't do harm to anybody. Hey, Johnny on the go. Hey, Terrence, everyone. Hey, Make Love Not War. How you doing? Thank y'all so much for coming in here. Okay, let me just make sure because I got to be back. I'm on clock. Sign back in at 2:08. So I'll leave. I'll maybe like 2:03, 2:04. I'll make my way back to the front desk. What's up? Hey, what's up? The real odds and evens. Just like Make Love Not War, you remember, I gave 10 more memberships and stuff, and you were selected. And when I saw your name pop up, bro, I was so happy because, if you continue it or not, it's no problem. But I really love when people who just come in, be it new or old, who support the channel when they can become a member. So that means a lot to me. Thank you so much for using those emojis. And you're most welcome. You're most welcome. I was just talking about how it's time out for bullshit in my life. In my life. I can't speak on anyone else's, but in my life, it's time out for that. I just had this coworker who I've had to tell twice, because this person is very disrespectful, very demeaning, very abrasive and aggressive, and negative. Negative is that's probably the most kindest thing I can say about them, other than all the other things. But this person always wants to put people down, to build himself up. And so now you know that it's a male, but whatever, I don't care because this is, it's my freedom of speech. I'm not trying to bash, I'm just keeping it real. But this person literally has called me a bitch, has called me a dumbass, a bitch, but in what they would say a jokingly way, right? And I've let it go. I laughed at it when I first was transferred here. And then I saw, okay, wow, this is becoming a pattern. And you know, you gotta leave well, you have to leave well enough alone. And I'm like, wait a second, you're doing too much. See, sometimes, let me tell you, I can joke with the best of the people. I made jokes at my mama's funeral. I had people laughing at my mom's funeral as she laid there in her casket. You heard me right. My mom herself, huge joker, was joking her ass off when she was receiving chemo. She had people that were receiving chemo in that same department. She had them laughing. She had them cracking up in tears of joy, right? Tears of laughter, all right? From laughing. That's where I want to be in my life. That's why I say I commend Life with Shoshana, Life with Andrea, who are both battling cancer. And they can come on this application and dealing with real situations, real problems, and can put a smile on somebody's damn face. Come on, somebody. Meanwhile, people sitting up here ain't got shit going on really with themselves, and probably got all the money in the world or all the time in the world, but you still want to come on. You want to be negative. You want to be nasty. You want to be a distraction to someone's life. You need prayer. But so with this individual that just, I'm putting some supplies away. He said, oh wow, you're finally doing something. You're putting some things away. You're doing this. And I said, Terrence, let it go. I said, no. I said, you're going to tell this man to leave you alone a third time. Sure enough, I called him that, and I said, sir, I said, no disrespect. I said, as I told you before, I was like, listen, I'm not your friend. I don't consider you an enemy. You're not my friend. You know, we have to coexist here. I said, but if it doesn't pertain to patient, or if we're not around a patient or something of that nature, do not talk to me. Do not socialize with me. Because he's done it in the lounge, because I'm going in and I'm looking at my call, which I don't want it to be. I don't want to have to even go in there, but that, you guys know now, that's where they keep it at. And so sure enough, I go in there, you always have to say something. Why do you have to say something to me? You want a response. You want this mean reaction, but I'm not going to give you a mean reaction. I'm just simply saying, please do not talk to me. I'm being so honest when I say that. Do not talk to me. If it does not pertain to a patient, do not say anything to me. And again, he was like kind of perplexed, and eyes kind of got big. And then, you know, he walks off and stuff, and I'm just keeping it real. I think people really got me twisted. I'm not going to put my hands on anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for all that mess and stuff, but miss me with the bull crap. It's time out for that. Look at it. And, you know, it is what it is, you know. I mean, life goes on. But you're so welcome. I appreciate that. Thank you. Of course, because you gotta, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for all that you do. Incredible, awesome. Like, I can't say enough nice things about you. I really do appreciate what you do. It really means a lot to me. And I know people may think, oh, whatever, but no, like, you guys are like really special. And I really appreciate you using your platform for positivity. And I would hope that people think that I'm being positive, because again, it can probably be looked at maybe sometimes not as positive because of how I express things, but I promise you I'm a positive person. I just don't have time for ignorance. That's all it is. I don't have time for ignorance, and, you know, time out for that. Because again, that doesn't prove anything. I just had one of I had this individual, this coworker, tell me, Terrence, I know that you want to say things, and I know you're passionate about things, but you got to realize it doesn't. Hold on one second. What is this fucking idiot doing? Weirdo. Anyway, says passionate about things, but you really have to say, you know what, to hell with it. Don't even acknowledge it. And I'm like, oh, that's so hard to do. But she was like, you must do that to really start respecting yourself and appreciating yourself more. You have to get to that mindset. And I'm like, man, I'm just not there yet. But you know what? I'm praying for that. I'm praying that I know I want to protect my peace, and I know I do protect my peace, but I'm praying each day that I can be able to be stronger and not even give it any of my time. Of course, because you got to step back and refill. Those type of people are draining scoundrels. Scoundrels, is it? I like that name. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. So like I said, guys, I'm going to I'm gonna end it here. Go back into work. I promise you, you guys. When it comes to the patients, I'm 110% dedicated. It's just that, yeah, it's just people. That's just what makes the world look a little bitter. Because the world is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's just some of the people in it that makes it look not so gorgeous. I appreciate y'all. You guys stay up, all right? Don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. And I guarantee you that I'm not gonna stop, all right? All right, let's go. I love and appreciate you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.